and I love traffic. I love living next to a freeway, guys. Oh god, my bracelets are annoying. My bracelets are annoying. I'm gonna take them off because they're just gonna be making noise everywhere. And we're not doing that today. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's MicheleC. Welcome to another video. Today's video is an exciting one because it is about books again. It literally has been 2 to 3 months since I've filmed a book video, and I'm just so excited to be back because I was in the worst reading slump and I'm still trying to fight through the reading slump. But because of that, we're reading another Colleen Hoover book. I've never read a Colleen Hoover book for my YouTube videos, but I've read It Ends With Us like everybody else, and now I will be reading Reminders of Him, which is her newest book. And I will be reading it on my Kindle Paperwhite. If you guys have questions about that, gladly will answer them in the comments. I am coming from reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, I'm pretty sure. And I actually got that from my library, and I had to not only check it out once, but check it out 2 times because it took me 42 days exactly to get through that book. I wasn't reading every day. I wasn't inspired every time I sat down and read. I literally was reading and falling asleep a little bit because I was like, yep, I'm not in the mood. So we're going to move on from that, start fresh, start new, and hopefully there's more videos coming regarding books. I quickly want to say that I'm going to try to make this spoiler free. It's really hard, as everybody knows, to kind of have a conversation and commentary throughout the book when it is definitely something that you're reading. So how do you explain that? I also want to quickly address the fact that I won't be finishing this book, so even though it's a reading vlog, I'm not going to sit here and do a 24 hours of reading in order to do this because I have other stuff to do today and it's already 2:50 p.m. and I just want to start it. I want to push myself to get out of the reading slump with you guys, want to put this book on my channel, and I want to take you on an adventure of places I like to read. Anyways, let's start reading and hope you enjoy the video. Like I said, I'm going to read on my Kindle Paperwhite. This is the newest version available and I'm already on chapter 1. So let's go ahead and set the vibes. Chapter 1, Kenna. There's a small wooden cross stacked into the ground on the side of the road with the date of his death written on it. Scotty would hate it. I bet his mother put it there. Can you pull over? The driver slows down and brings the cab to a stop. I get out and walk back to where the cross is. I shake it side to side until the dirt loosens around it. And then I pull it out of the ground. Did he die in this very spot? Or did he die in the road? I didn't pay attention to the details during the pre-trial when I heard he crawled several yards away from the car. I started humming so I wouldn't hear anything the prosecutor said. Then, to avoid having to sit through details if the case went to a trial, I pleaded guilty. Because technically, I was. I may not have killed him with my actions, but I definitely killed him with my inaction. That already is setting the tone to something I didn't expect. I know this book is going to be from Kenna, and I'm forgetting the guy character's name, but it's dual perspective, so that will be interesting. I love dual perspective books, and I just wasn't expecting it already for her to plead guilty to his death. I knew she wasn't with Scotty for some reason, and obviously she had a pregnancy and all this, but I didn't think she was going to be in jail because of Scotty. I had no idea. I don't know where my mind was thinking. I thought she was like stealing something or doing something. I didn't think she set herself up for murder. So that's already something I wasn't expecting. I thought you were dead, Scotty, but dead people can't crawl. I walk back to the cab with a cross in hand. I set it on the back seat next to me and wait for the driver to pull back onto the road. But he doesn't. I glance at him in the rearview mirror and he's staring at me with a raised brow. Stealing roadside memorials has to be some kind of bad karma. I'm going to continue reading and I'm going to play background music so that it's not so freeway noises in the background. we are moving into chapter 2, which is Ledger, and so far adorable. The fact that there's a kitten involved and it's her companion animal now, I hope. At least I expect that to happen. I think it just gives Disney princess vibes, and it is so cute. I'll say that when I'm crying later, unlike a Disney movie. We'll see. Here we go for Ledger. I want to read this to you guys because I think this is when Kenna and Ledger first get encountered. So, first encounter each other. This angle is so weird, but I don't want to move my camera. Here we go. I'm pouring 2 glasses of water when a girl walks into the bar looking somewhat lost. She glances around the room like she's never been here before, and then when she notices an empty corner at the opposite end of the bar, she makes a beeline for it. I stare at her the entire time she's walking through the bar. I stare at her so hard I accidentally overfill the glasses, and water goes everywhere. I grab a towel and wipe up my mess. When I look at my mother, she's looking at the girl, then at me, then at the girl. The last thing I need is for her to try to set me up with a customer. She tries to play matchmaker plenty when she's sober, so I can't imagine how bad the tendency might be after a few drinks. I need to get them out of here. He's nervous. In any way, shape, or form, he's nervous just because he looks at her. That's all I have to say. And if that's not adorable, I don't know what is. I'm scared to speak about this book because I know it's going to be like tragic in a way, and I don't want to set myself up for failure. Oh my god. It's the way she's writing letters to Scotty. And chapter 3 starts with, "Dear Scotty, they turned the old bookstore into a bar." Devastated. I don't even live in this world, and I'm devastated for them. As someone who doesn't drink alcohol and doesn't care for it, devastated. Basically, they were speaking about coffee and how much she actually misses Scotty and just what she thinks about him, why she did certain things over the years. And it is adorable, and it almost feels relatable because this romance novel is set pretty recently. So it's just cute. I just made a note on my Kindle and I want to read this out loud. It says, "I take a drink of my coffee and close my eyes and cry because life can be so effing cruel and hard, and I've wanted to quit living so many times, but the moment like these remind me that happiness isn't some permanent thing we're all trying to achieve in life. It's merely a thing that shows up every now and then, sometimes in tiny doses that are just substantial enough to keep us going. And if I can't relate to that, I don't know who can. I wake up every morning and the little things make me so happy, like my coffee mugs, my cute pots and everything else, my plants. And those are the little things that make life better and not necessarily big life events. And I tell it to my mom all the time. So I think that is really, really like hard hitting. And I love that this book is already going this way, especially when speaking about prison, because I don't know if you guys know, but I have a sociology degree and it's specifically in social inequality, which makes me love anything with prison and the system and how to fix it and how unfair and everything else with inequality. And I thought I would enjoy this book for this reason. I'm not very much of the trope with kids and all that involved, especially like older people tropes. I like young adult things a lot. I like how simple they are, how non-depressing they are. So this is definitely out of my reach for this book, but I love the way they're handling prison so far. Part 2, living next to a freeway. I feel like it always sounds like I'm asleep after I read because I'm just not speaking, so we're gonna deal with that this vlog. But I am now on page 30, so 10% into the book, and that would be the start of chapter 6 from Ledger's perspective, and I'm really intrigued to read it, but it is now 3:41, and even though I haven't read for too long, I can already say that I'm reading way faster than I read the past 2 books I've read during the slump. I think something about Colleen Hoover's writing, and a lot of people say this, just keep you wanting more and more and more. And it's also one of those things with dual perspective where you just want to know, like right now I'm on Ledger's part and I'm like, is he going to realize the same thing she realized, which they realized something. I don't know if he realizes, but she realizes something. And I was not expecting it to take that turn either. So Miss Hoover's already hitting me in the weak spots, and I don't want tragedy. It's one of those things where you're building, and you're like, this is great, stay great. And it might not happen that way. There is also a part where I made a note on my Kindle that speaks about the way that women and men are perceived after they're out of prison, and just how men almost earn this badge of honor, and they assume that they assume that the crimes they committed are these heroic things, whereas for women, you're either a slut, drugs, alcohol, other things that are women's chances of getting work, of doing anything. She even mentions that a job as a bartender might even be hard after prison, even though it doesn't really matter why she was there. But I just thought that was really interesting, and it makes my little sociology heart pitter patter. And I hope the book does a good job at doing this and kind of places that perspective, even though you've never experienced something like that, into people's heads. That's one thing that It Ends With Us does really well. The abuse has never been a thing around me, and it really does a good job of drilling it into your head and kind of making you think, if I was her, what would I do? And it really is one of the books that creates this sort of empathy for people and understanding and more feelings and stuff, which is a very valuable thing. A lot of people think that fiction books are just a waste of time, but they make you more empathetic and just understanding of other people's situations. And I think Miss Colleen Hoover's books do that amazingly, at least what I've read so far and what I've heard other avid readers say about her. So heading out, but just want to show you my outfit. I think this is from Burlington or Ross. Not sure if it's kids section, to be honest. It has these like diamondy things that I desperately hate, but it covers up with my hair. Then I'm wearing this shirt from, I think, a store at the mall, maybe like Fashion Q or something, but I know you could also get it at like TJ Maxx because I bought the same brand, same style, same everything there in a different color. Then my Levi's jeans, they're just super skinny, and my Converse, like always. In terms of jewelry, I'm wearing my moon necklace, my rings that I always wear that won't focus, my Apple Watch with this watch band, and just more bracelets and rings. Hello. I'm gonna continue reading at the park now. It is pretty cloudy, so we might not be here for long. Have no idea how long I'm even gonna read or how much I'm gonna read is what I'm trying to say. But if anything interesting happens or anything, I will discuss it. We're gonna love that sound too. This is why we time lapse, people. Okay. Page 39 and 40, when she is speaking about Scotty's truck, is just intense, and this is what I'm scared of. Like, if you've read this, you know. If you haven't, come back to this and then you'll understand it when you're on that page. I want to not read anymore. Also, I heard a bug. It's getting darker, but so far I noticed that I really enjoy how a lot of these pieces feel, me hiding from the freaking birds because I'm terrified. But anyways, I was saying, it feels like this book has a lot of sections that feel really poetic and cheesy at the same time, but beautiful. And I have this kind of obsession with snake poems and things like that, which is why Reputation by Taylor Swift is great. But anyways, page 44, it says, "But even though I felt like a snake, I didn't plan on slithering away. I liked your energy so much I planned to coil myself around you and never let go." And again, since I'm not spoiling, I'm not saying who she's talking about, but it's adorable. And it just gives red flags for whoever she's talking about, but you want them to be green, and I hope it doesn't ruin anything. Also, I'm realizing that because of this lighting that is super good and my camera, you can see every pore and every fine line with my makeup and my face. So sorry about that. We'll have to deal with that later. So I said I wasn't going to finish the book, but I finished it now before I uploaded the video. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because, like every Colleen Hoover book, at least that I've read and I've heard other people say, it is a book that is something that even if you don't relate to personally, you can imagine someone really close proximity like relating to. Whether it's a block away from you, in this continent, in this state, someone can definitely relate and at least have like a 50% connection to the story. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's done in a beautiful way. And during the last couple of pages, there were so many moments where I was just like, cries. I was sitting there on my Kindle writing cries part 1, cries part 2, because I was just not fully crying, but it does make me teary-eyed. And I can't imagine a mother reading this book. Like I said, 5 out of 5, and I would recommend this book wholeheartedly. And if you've read the book, the part that got me in my feels the most, and like the first thing that I was like, oh my God, I can't take this book, was just the connection to a certain item that was brought back from the beginning of the book. And it is the cutest thing in the world, and I can't believe I got to experience it. Thanks to everyone who recommended it and pushed it my way, as well as thank you to the author, which we all love and appreciate, and we all know of now. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys later.